Thomas Jefferson teaches us that it's the very nature of governments to seek to expand their power beyond that which is granted them by law and under the Constitution. That power begets power, and that it's the duty of every American citizen to be vigilant of this, and that when we catch the government stepping over the line, rather than being surprised, rather than being swayed by rationalization, rather than being intimidated by threats, rather than being lazy and doing nothing, it's our duty to stand up and act in defense of those principles. That's just part of being American. So when I first heard of traffic cameras, I said that can't be constitutional. What they're doing is taking a picture of a person's car and presuming that that person is guilty, and saying if you don't want to be found guilty, that it's up to you to prove that you're innocent. That takes the most basic cornerstone of our judicial system, the presumption of innocence, and tosses it out the window. And of course, shortly after they were installed, multiple judges in different municipalities found them to be unconstitutional. Now, has that stopped other cities and counties from using them? No, because that's what comes natural to them. In their desperation to add to their empty coffers, they're going to do whatever it takes so they can keep cashing their paychecks. But it wasn't until I received a ticket for accidentally driving on a new toll road, and the citation read, "Paid to the order of J.P. Morgan," that I said, that's it. I could no longer look myself in the mirror and consider myself being a Jeffersonian. I could no longer feel honorable. I knew I had a duty to perform. So I got to work. Using my experience as a photographer, I calculated the angle that camera shot my license plate was 45 degrees. And what I wanted was a device that would allow for the clear viewing of my license plate from normal viewing angles, say from a police car. But from the angle of a traffic camera, they'd know immediately how I feel and that what they're doing is wrong. Everybody I've shown these things to wants one, including a DC police officer who says now DC is making them pay speeding tickets they get from those cameras. Problem is, it takes me over 4 hours to make one. What I'd like to do is be able to mass produce them. For that, I need CAD drawings, I need an injection mold, and I need to pay a setup fee to a factory to make the first initial run of a few hundred. That's about $7,000. For a little more money, we could do marketing. We could do a larger run of these units. This, my friends, is an example of civil disobedience, which is one of the tools Thomas Jefferson said we should use in defense of our liberties. And our country has a rich history, from Thomas Paine to Benjamin Franklin to Rosa Parks to the very Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And the rest of the world has taken our example. What's going on in Egypt and other parts of the world is a direct result of the example we've provided. So, in closing, I'd like to say, look, if something's not done, we know it's going to get worse. That's the nature of government. They're going to continue to expand. And for me, if we allow our country to become a police state where we're presumed to be guilty and treated like criminals, that every man and woman who's died in defense of our liberties shall have died in vain. I don't want to be part of the generation that let that happen. I can't. So if you feel like I do, make a donation. Let's get this thing started. Thank you.